Hi, I'm Austin Schwabi, and I'm a previous student here at NATE, and I'm here to show you how to make some carrot ginger soup. So first off, we're going to start with our butter, and it's going to go into our medium temperature pan. Making sure we get our entirety of butter out of the bowl. And we're just going to sweat or melt our butter in our pan, getting ready for sweating our vegetables. So once all our butter is melted, we don't really want to add any color to it. So we're going to add in our carrots, our onions, as well as our ginger. So it's really important that all our vegetables are cut the same size. It's going to create the even cooking process. As well, we're going to mix everything together, coat everything in that butter as we start to sweat our vegetables. So when I'm making soups, I like to start on a high heat and then bring it down to a medium. That ensures that you have more control of the heat. Once everything's hot, then you can turn it down. You can add a little salt, a little white pepper. So our recipe says to season at the end. I'm a fan of seasoning as you go to develop that flavor along the way. Just gives it more of that depth of flavor. So once our vegetables are sweated, we're going to add our flour to make our roux. So I just sprinkle my flour over my vegetables. And then we're going to mix it all together. So what this is doing is it's the flour's mixing with your fat, and when we cook out our roux and then add our stock, it's actually going to thicken it into our soup base. So we don't want to add any color to our roux as well. We want to keep everything a blonde roux. That's going to give us the maximum thickening power. So once our roux is cooked out, we're going to slowly add in our stock with a whisk. And I like to add a little bit first and mix it together. And doing a little bit at the time is going to prevent your roux from clumping and getting little flour chunks in there. You should be good to add it all in now. So here we're just waiting for our temperature to come up of our liquid, our stock, which is actually going to start thickening from the roux, and that's when we're going to add the cream, and then we can puree into our soup. So with our carrot ginger soup, what I really enjoy about it is that really fragrant ginger on a winter's day. So the recipes are all scaled down to the amount of dishes you're going to prepare for your scope. Obviously, there's some room for adjustments. So now our onions are fully cooked, our carrots are nice and tender, we're ready to puree. So what I like to do when I puree is I'm gonna start it off the heat but still in the same pot, because there's gonna be a little bit of flavor stuck to the bottom of the pot, and that's how you're gonna get a lot of your flavor out. So with your immersion blender, you're gonna go through and you're just gonna puree your vegetables and your soup all together. So when we puree things, what we're doing is we're creating a even texture throughout. We're getting that silky smoothness. So all going to be one combined color. So after we're done pureeing, we're gonna pass it through our chinois. And that's gonna get out all the parts that didn't puree, because you want a nice smooth soup. So then here I just take my spatula, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna kind of stir it, and it's all gonna come out together. Or if you want to do it fast, you just use your immersion blender. So now we have the soup already made. We're gonna bring this back to heat, and then we're gonna plate. So what we're looking for is we want our soup to be up to our proper temperature. You want it to be hot enough by the time it leaves your table to the time it gets to the judges. It's still gonna be piping hot. Your bowls are warmed in your oven. And then you have your garnishes ready. Do any final adjustments to your seasoning. A little bit more pepper. So because this is a roux-based soup and a puree, if you're not continuously mixing it while you're heating it, you're gonna start to get the scalding to the bottom of your pot, which is gonna give it that bitter flavor. So our soup is hot now. We have our bowls already set up. Our napkins are just folded underneath so our bowl doesn't move on the plate. So then our portion size for our soup is an 8 ounce. So we're just looking for that 8-ounce ladle. And I brush it on the bottom of the bottom of the ladle onto the pot as we go into the bowl. And then that ensures we get the clean pour and nothing on the edge. So again, we're gonna fill our ladle, brush it off onto the bottom of our pot, and then into our bowl. So you can do any kind of garnish. With my cream-based soup, I like to do a little savory cream. So I just whip some cream here, some salt and pepper in there, a little bit of lemon juice, give it some acidity. And we're just gonna do a nice simple zigzag across the soup. Again, making sure every plate looks the same. And that's how you make carrot ginger soup.